Okay. Okay. I really want to talk about this because I think it's very cool. So this is from a story I wrote called Primadonna, which I wrote in 2016. But so the main character, whose name is Tanya, she is sleeping with this one guy in her class, and so she's sleeping with this guy in her class, and then she ends up seeing him on the campus, and she talks to him and lets him know. She's like, "Hey, dude." Well, she doesn't say dude, but she's like, "Hey, I had a dream that I got pregnant. I think you should start wearing condoms." And then he's all like, "I'm not gonna get you pregnant. I'm a pro," or whatever, something like that. And then she lets him know, like, honestly, like, we're not gonna have sex if you don't wear a condom or whatever. Why am I whispering? Anyways, she's like, "Okay, we're not gonna have sex if you don't wear a condom." And he's like, "I don't really care right now." And he starts to like, he's like an asshole towards her during that conversation. And then she gets mad, like, "Why are you an asshole? Like, I'm just telling you to wear condoms." And then like they end up like, he ends up walking away from her and all this shit. And so then she sees him in class and she walks up to him and this is gonna be a long video, but anyway, she says I'm seeing him in because they have the same class, so she sees him in class. And she goes up to him and goes, "Oh, I got some condoms. Maybe we can." And he cuts her off, and he's like, "Oh no, I don't think we should continue doing this." So he moves from his seat because usually sit together. So he moves from his seat and he sits somewhere else. And then this redhead girl comes into the classroom, and she's very like beautiful. Like, she's so beautiful that she comes in, everybody stops what they're doing, and basically. I'm sorry, I can't stop laughing. So basically, she tells the teacher, "Oh, I switched from online to here because she was doing the online. Because this class is world religions, where you talk about different religions across the world. Buddhism, Catholicism, Hinduism, all that. But anyways, we're talking about. So she lets the teacher know, like, okay, so I switched to online from here, and I'm going to be in this class, and the teacher, "Oh, that's fine, just find a seat and put your name on the." I guess you have to fold a piece of paper a certain way, so the teacher knows your name. And then so he said, "Oh, just fold the piece of paper like that," pointing at someone's table where their name is, and then on that paper. And he's, "Oh, okay, cool." So she walks to her seat. It's in slow motion, and then which I got from Skins US, where one of the characters on the show, one of the main characters on the show, well, she's this hot redhead, redhead girl, and she's like walking, like she's like hot shit, and she's like walking to her, she's walking in the cafeteria to sit down with her friends, and it's like in slow motion. So I did that in Primadonna. This redhead's walking to her seat, and it's in slow motion, and the guy, Tanya was sleeping with, is like looking at her like, "Oh, she's really hot." And I believe Tanya notices that, and she kind of looks at it like, "Oh, what's going on here?" And as she's walking in slow motion, that one Common song, "Driving Me Wild" with Lily Allen's playing, like the opening. So she's walking to her seat. She's walking to a seat, and she sits down. And she sits down next to the dances. I'm sorry if I'm confusing you guys. She sits down next to the guy Tanya's sleeping with, and I don't think I mentioned that the guy is wearing a Smith shirt, and damn, well, she. Anyways, the guy's wearing a Smith shirt. Damn, I really forgot the scene after. But I remember like she complimented his shirt, and they're like they hit it off, and I think she said like, "Oh, I like your Smith shirt." And she said something like, "It's funny because I think she said vegetarian or vegan. I think she said vegetarian. They have to go back to it 'cause I haven't read it in a while. But she's like, "Oh, like I like your shirt because I'm vegetarian or vegan or whatever." He's, "Oh, okay, that's funny." Then he stops laughing and says, "The joke isn't funny anymore." That Smith song, I believe it was called "The Joke Isn't Funny Anymore." But anyways, so they hit it off, and then Tanya sees this, and she's like very upset. So the scene cuts, and it cuts to the girl giggling, and the guy Tanya's fucking. They're like having a good time laughing. I think she's like writing something on his hand. I believe she's writing something on his hand. So then she gets up and leaves the classroom to go to the restroom. And Tanya sees this, so Tanya leaves the classroom as well. She's like storms through the hallway, and then Tanya goes to the restroom, and she the camera's filming the sink, and you see blood, like blood, dropping into the sink. And she looks in the mirror and her nose is bleeding. She's having a nosebleed. And I actually got that scene from not the Amazing Spider-Man, the Spider-Man the animated series, the one on MTV, where there's this girl on that show who was obsessed with Spider-Man. She was like this gothic. I can say she was like this gothic chick. She had like purple highlights. She had I think she had like purple highlights in her hair. She's a brunette with like purple highlights. Really hot girl. But anyways, anyway, so Tanya gets like the nosebleeds, and the redhead girl comes out of the bathroom. She's like, "Oh my gosh, you're bleeding." And then Tanya says, "So are you." And then Tanya grabs her hair and slams it in the mirror. And then the scene cuts to Tanya entering the classroom. So Tanya enters the classroom, and she sits down, and the camera pans to the redhead and the guy Tanya's fucking, like, like talking. And so basically it was just was it like a fantasy, she had a fantasy of her slamming her head in the mirror, but is it a fantasy that her nose was really bleeding and she was upset about it? Was that a fantasy as well? I guess you guys have to figure that out. No, I'm just kidding. But that was basically the scene that I wanted to talk about. And it was a very I know this is a fucking 7-minute video. I could have really summarized it better, but that's basically the scene that I thought was very cool.